All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, it's time to dive into some more OP12 action. That's right, we got Green Zoro lined up for you today. So let's go ahead and get right into this, guys. We're going to go over, first we're going to check out the deck list I'm running for today's video. Then we're going to check out 5 games on the sim, and then we're going to, recap, and I'll tell you guys what I think about this leader moving forward, okay? I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, the VV Theory, at the checkout for an extra 10% off. Alright, so let's go ahead and break down this deck list for today's video, guys. First up, we got the leader, Zoro. This is a 5,000 power, 5 life, green leader. Supernova and Straw Hat type, okay? With the effect, Dawn ×3, activate main once per turn. If this leader has battled your opponent's character during this turn, set this leader as active. Then this card cannot attack characters with an original cost of 7 or less during this turn. Okay, so very powerful effect here. The main thing we want to be able to do every turn, or as much as possible, is attaching 3 Dawn or more to our leader to attack into the board first and then attack into our opponent's leader, right? That's going to be the best way to get value from this leader Zoro, and we have a lot of really good ways to do that. Okay, I'm going to run through the entire list first, and I'm going to mouse over each card. So if you're new to the OP12 cards, like pretty much all of us are right now, you can pause and read them if you need to know what they do exactly. Otherwise, you can check out the I did an entire set review for OP12 recently. That will be linked in the comment section below if you guys want to check that out. Okay, so we're running 4 Hiyori in here, the new Searcher Hiyori, 4 Perona, 3 of Kushiro, 4 Tashigi, 4 Kuzabaru, 4 Kuina, 4 Cavendish, 2 Smoker, 4 of the 5-cost Tashigi, 4 of the new 5-cost 2K counter X-Drake, 4 Dracula Mihawk, 2 Law and Beppo, 2 Gum Gum Elephant Gatling, 3 Dead Man's Game, and 2 of Luffy is the man who will become the Pirate King, or the King of the Pirates, or Pirate King, however it's worded. So the deck list is actually pretty straightforward. All you're trying to do is this. Early on, you've got your searchers, right? You want to play out your turn 1 Kazuki Hiyori or your Perona to search up your / attribute characters or events. You can search up your events or your / attribute characters. So that's the first thing. That's like your early game, right? And then after that, there's a little bit of setup depending on if you went first or second. If you went first, you'll only have 3 Dawn, right? So you might want to set up with Tashigi or with one of these blockers. Okay, the Kushiro. And then after that, going into like your 5 and 6 Dawn, or excuse me, I should say like your 4 to 7 Dawn turn, like getting into the mid-range, the mid-game, that's when you're going to be able to set down Kuina. Okay, pause and read what this does. Being able to tap down a 4 less and give 3 rested Dawn to your leader. It doesn't matter that the card goes sideways. Your opponent ends up attacking into that, and it ends up working as like a 1K counter, and it already did what it needed to do. Because if you're playing this out on your 4 Dawn or 5 Dawn turn, your opponent's going to play out a 3 or 4 cost character, typically speaking, right? Well, you play this card out for 4, you rest it down and attach 3 Dawn to your leader and rest down your opponent's 4 cost or lower character. Well, now you get to attack into it with your leader, and then you get to attack into their leader as well. And on the next turn, they have to get rid of this card or it's going to generate too much value. So they have to attack into that and waste one of their attacks. It's perfect. Okay, then after that, we've got Cavendish, Smoker, and Tashigi, and I guess technically X-Drake as well, but he's like a last resort kind of thing. But guys, Cavendish and Tashigi, these are your #1 mid-game plays right here, followed by Smoker. Smoker's not too far behind. But being able to play out a Tashigi on 5 Dawn, like right on your 5 Dawn turn on turn 3, going first. Okay, you establish a 5-cost 7K, and then whatever they played last turn, it'll be like a 3 or 4 cost character, maybe a 5-cost if they had a way to ramp. Okay, now you play out the Tashigi and rest it down. You give 3 Dawn to your leader, you smash into that character, and then you still get to smash into your opponent's leader, and now you have a 5-cost 7K on the board. Very, very powerful play here. Now, you can do something very similar if you're going second on your 6 Dawn turn with Cavendish. You can, on a 6 Dawn turn, you can play out your Cavendish for 5 and get 2 Dawn back as active because our leader is Supernova, and we'll have 3 Dawn to play with to attach to our leader and attack from there. And if there's a target on the board, we can always attack him that first and then stand it up with the leader's effect to attack into their leader. Okay, and then last but not least, I have a little bit of top in here. We'll talk about Hody Jones in a second, so bear with me, hang on for a second there. Dracula Mihawk and Lon Beppo are 2 cards I'm experimenting with. I'm not saying that, so Dracula Mihawk is going to probably make the final cut. This card's incredible, but the Lon Beppo in particular I was experimenting with, and I don't know if this one will make the final cut. Maybe as a one-of. It's nice to have a top-end card. But hear me out. We'll have to keep in mind, we'll have to take into consideration as we're watching today's games, how good would this card be, how do I say this? On our 10 Dawn turns, what card do we wish we had in our hand over any other card in the game? Are we going to want the Lon Beppo? Are we going to want like a 9-cost Shanks? Are we going to want like a 10-cost Doflamingo? Or would just Hody Jones be better here? We'll have to see, okay? So let's keep that in mind as we're going through the games. Okay, and then next up, our event package over here is very straightforward. Gum Gum, Elephant Gatling, and Dead Man's Game. These are both 1-cost 3K counters to protect your leader only. Okay, they can't protect your board. And then you also have extra abilities on them. Gum Gum, Elephant Gatling, you pay 1 additional Dawn, so 2 Dawn altogether, and you're resting down a 5-cost or lower character. That is actually very, very strong, right? And it's a 2 Dawn investment, which goes perfectly with your Cavendish, right? Then after that, you have your Dead Man's Game. This is a 1-cost with a +3 activate main event here that has you may rest three of your Dawn cards, so 4 altogether, and then rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn cards. So this is going to be a way for us to battle for the board or just go for lethal, right? Rest down their blocker, rest down their Dawn, and then just smash through. Okay, so this is just a very high utility card here. Excellent card. It is... all of these events are actually searchable. We'll talk about the last one in a second here, but read Perona and read Hiyori very carefully. They can search up / attribute characters and also green events. Okay, so I can search any of these up, even though this one's Fishman Island, Supernova Straw Hat, this one's Straw Hat, and this one's Straw Hat. That doesn't really matter, right? We can actually search all of them up. Okay, we can search up every one of these with Hiyori and the Perona. Really good stuff there. And that's, okay, and then one more event to go over. The Luffy is the man who will become the Pirate King. This event here is kind of like your, okay, I got to go for lethal kind of card. I can imagine people running more than 2. And one more thing, I always have to mention this, guys. When it comes to me trying out new decks and trying them out for the first time and coming up with my own build for them and stuff like that, these ratios aren't permanent. If you're like, hey, I'd rather run 3 or 4 of this event, or maybe 4 of this event, or 3 of this event, go ahead and do that. Understand, we're just experimenting with this stuff. We got to work out the numbers and the ratios later, okay? And I mention that because I do get a lot of comments. A lot of times I get comments asking like, hey, why aren't you running this card, or why not this card? It's like, well, guys, be patient. We're trying to figure this out together. Make some suggestions. I love hearing the suggestions for cards we should try, but just know, hey, I'm trying to figure this out just like everybody else too. Okay, so this card right here, you can set up to one of your Zoro leaders as active. So this is going to allow you to stand up your leader and get some extra attacks in. So say you, let's just say you attach 5 Dawn to your leader, right? So you still have actually, let's go all out here. Excuse me. Let's say you attach 7 Dawn to your leader, so you have exactly 3 Dawn left as active, right? Okay, smash in for 12 into their board, and then use the leader effect to stand the character as active, then smash in a 12 to their leader, and then with the remaining 3 Dawn, stand your leader as active and go 12,000 more into their leader. So this is a very, this event here is very strong at closing out games, but I don't think I want more than 2 or 3 of them in the deck personally, but if you're having a lot of success with it and you want to go with 4 of them, hey, do your thing, right? Do what works for you. Make it happen. All right, that's it, guys. That's the entire deck list. We're going to talk more about it at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and hop into the sim and check out some games and see this deck in action. All right, so the first game up we have is against Blue Purple Sanji. The volume is off, the speed is on 2x, and here we go. Now, actually, before I click start, when it comes to what you want to do, choosing if you win the dice roll, do you want to go first or second? Honestly, you should probably always counter what your opponent's trying to do, but I think going second is probably a little bit better for us, because hear me out. So if we go first, right, let's just say we go first, we go turn 1 Searcher into turn 2, on our 3 Dawn turn, maybe play out the, what's his name, Kashiro, I think, the blocker, or Tashigi, and then into our turn 3, we have the 5 Dawn turn, we can play out the 5-cost Tashigi, and now attach Dawn to our leader, attacking like that. But then on our 7 Dawn turn, it's not exactly incredible, right? Whereas if we go second, we can do everything I just said, and we can still play out the Hiyori to do the search. Going first, we won't get to search with Hiyori right away, right? We'll have to, like, wait a turn to do that. So if we go second, we get to go turn 1 Hiyori and search or Perona, and then turn 2, we can play out our 4-cost Kuina. Into turn 5, we can play out the Cavendish to give us 3 active Dawn to attack with our leader for our leader's effect, or play out the Tashigi sitting on 1 Dawn as active, and then we go straight into an 8 Dawn turn for Draco Mihawk. So I think going second is preferable, but I'll say this, if you know your opponent wants to go first, it's probably better to just take their preference away from them and don't let them get set up the way they want to. Okay, now let's do this, guys. Let's get into it. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. All right, so going against blue-purple Sanji here. Being a 5-life leader is always nice going into a 4-life leader. Of course, that probably goes without saying, right? That's always a nice advantage. We get to just take 1 hit for free. So we're going second. We're going to play out the Hiyori and then get a search going. I think we got the Draco Mihawk. And again, that's why going second is kind of nice, because we can just use the Hiyori right away. And hey, does he want to swing 5 into this character or use an event to remove it? That's fine. We're not upset with that. They're going to go ahead and use Buff Burst here to draw 2 cards. They have 2 Dawn left for the turn. Let's see what they choose to do with it. Just kind of waiting on our opponent here. And remember, guys, everyone's trying to learn what these new cards do. Okay, they decide to just ignore my character. Okay, that's fine. We do have to be careful playing into something like a pudding, the Charlotte Pudding, the 4-cost that can hurt our hand big time. But hey, let's go ahead and swing in for 5 here, get a card out of their hand probably, see what they want to do, or maybe take it. Okay, they use a 0-cost 3K. They're filling up their trash very quickly with events so that they're so that they can turn on other effects in the deck, like the Sanji here that gets buffs. According to how many events you have in your trash. For every 5 events you have in the trash, he gets plus 1,000 power. So they're going to get rid of our 4-cost card. That's fine. Or the 3-cost. I think it was the Tashigi, but that's fine. Okay, so now we're on a 6 Dawn turn. We're going to go ahead and use our Kuina to drop down the Sanji here, and we're going to go 10 into 6. Okay, we could have also done the same kind of play with Tashigi, but I think we would have been 1 Dawn shorter on the attack. It'd have been 9 into 6, and that's a double 2K to get out of. I didn't want to take any chances. Let me do the math on that real quick, as I do want to check that real quick to make sure I'm right on that. So Kuina costs 4, and we had 6 Dawn, right? So we play out Kuina for 4. We rest it to rest down the character, and then attach 3 Dawn to our leader, so he goes to 8, and then we would have 2 Dawn left to bring him up to 10. If we had played out Tashigi for 5, we could still rest down the character, get 3 Dawn on our leader, and only go to 9. So, yeah, so I think it was slightly safer there to go ahead and play out the Kuina and swing 10 into 6 versus only 9 into 6 while developing a bigger body. And like I was saying before, if they want to swing the Sanji into our Kuina to slow them down, that's fine. That's completely fine. Okay, here we go. So they go ahead and play out Reiju for 4. That is a 4-cost, 9-cost, 7,000 power blocker. That Reiju is really, really nice, guys. That new Reiju is incredible. So they're going to swing 6 into my board. They do fully clear out my board here. But now we're on an 8 Dawn turn. We get to stand 4 Dawn as active. And now we're probably going to play out a searcher here. Let's see what we search up. Actually, we might attack first, just to be careful. No, we're going to do a search first. I do think I like doing the search first, just in case. Because what we could have done there is actually played out the Kashiro. But against blue-purple Sanji, Kashiro is not quite as good, because they have a lot of ways to push the 3-cost the 3-cost and lower characters, or no, excuse me, I think it's 4-cost and lower characters out of the way. So we smash in for 8. That's going to go over the top of Reiju. They can't get like a free block or anything. And if they block, we get to attack again with our leader, right? Because then we're battling a character. I believe that's how that works. I'll have to check the timing on it, but I'm pretty sure that's how it will work. Okay, so we have an 8-cost blocker on the board now. They're going to use Brochet Blow to drop the power of our Mihawk down to 5,000, so we can't get any free blocks off. But we do have a few cards in hand. None of them are 2K counters, but my opponent doesn't know that. We're actually a little bit bricked up right now in our hand, but let's see what our opponent wants to do. They're going to start off by swinging for 8. Seems good. We're just going to take it. They don't swing with the Reiju because they don't want to lose on this turn here either, right? So we're going to play out the Tashigi. We can actually play out both Tashigis if we want to, but I'm going to try to go into this board pretty aggressively. Okay, so we're going to go 9 into 7. Let's see what they want to do. Since they have a 7K blocker on the board, I am just going to go 9s into 7 here. I could go 9 into face, but they could just use the blocker anyway. And I'm not sure. Okay, well, now I might actually swing in with the Mihawk, right? They just gave me 2 cards from hand. Now they're probably going to have to use the blocker. They just let it go. I'm not against that. I don't think that's a terrible play because that blocker could potentially save them right now, right? Because our board is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and anything they turn sideways, we are going to massacre with our leader's effect, right? We're just gonna beat into it every time. So let's see what happens here. They're gonna swing for 10 into face. Okay, we could block this. Notice I'm thinking about blocking, and I do. I'd rather use that right away and see what they want to do here. Then they change gears and go into my Mihawk. That was very well played by my opponent. I can save this, but do I want to give him all the cards in hand? Looks like the answer is yes. Yes, I do. So we give him all the counter in our hand. That was all we had. Because remember, guys, you can't use the one-cost event to protect characters. Okay, we do end up getting another Mihawk here. We have a TCG as well. Let's go ahead and just start beating into this board, though. I think that's the most important thing right here. We're going to start off with a 9K hit into this 7K. They're going to give us the blocker. And now we're going to play out the Mihawk. Standing 4 Dawn is active. Honestly, I think I should go 7 into it. And watch this. I think I should play out the TCG here. We're going to leave a Dawn as active just to be safe, I guess. But hey, in this situation here, I think I should have just played out the TCG, give Dawn to my character, or to my leader, because that's a dead card in hand anyway. But anyway, whatever the case is, they got out of that. They're you know, but they've got very limited cards in hand now. They only have 4 cards in hand. They're down to 1 life. Our board is getting massive. We have 1 card. We have 1 Dawn active with the 3K counter in hand. And we have 3 life. So we're looking pretty good here. Let's see what they choose to do. Okay, and we're on turn 7, guys. Blue-purple Sanji just kind of sticks around. Okay, they're going to swing for 10. We're going to take this one. Okay, we're going to take this one. Let's see. They have 6 Dawn left. Are they going to hit us with a Red Rock, maybe? Red Rock would be devastating here. They're going to buff burst. And let's see what they do. Again, I'm just kind of waiting to see what they're going to do because I don't remember these games, guys. I put so many games into the sim, I don't always remember how they turn out. But 6 Dawn is a very ominous number in this game, right? Like, okay, a blue deck with 6 Dawn active, right? Or even 7 Dawn if it's like Gravity Blade. It's like, you know, Gravity Blade I don't have to worry much about. You just get rid of 1 character. They swing for 10 into my board. I'm going to let that go. Okay, so right here, it looks like we're going to play out the Smoker. Yeah, it looks like we're going to play out the 5-cost Smoker. I think I like the TCG better. Yeah, so I just attached 4 Dawn to my leader. I should have just done 5. And now, okay, now we're going to go at face. Maybe we're actually going to go for lethal now. So we're going 9 into face. Let's see what he chooses to do. That's going to be a Concaster for 4, and then they're going to use that. Now we're going to swing in for 9. He has no Dawn left, and he only has 2 cards in hand. So now we're going to swing for 11, and that's going to be GG. Good game to my opponent. There's simply no way out of it. They have a 0-cost 3K. That's not going to do it. And then even if they had all 2Ks, it doesn't matter. Because they defended the Sanji, that gave me the opportunity to go for lethal. Otherwise, I still think what I probably should have done there was play out the TCG and just to put 3 Dawn on my leader, and then I could go from there. Because even in this situation here, if he had somehow gotten out of it, we do have 2 Dawn. I will say this: we still have 2 Dawn as active, where we have enough for the Elephant Gatling, 2 Elephant Gatlings. So we're probably fine. So even if we had played out the TCG there, if they had somehow gotten out of those attacks, no problem. We just don't swing all out here. We just swing for 2 9s, and we're sitting on double 1-cost events, and it's going to be very hard for them to get through 2 life with only 2 characters on the board and all those events in hand. It's going to be very hard for them to swing through for lethal, even if they top deck something like a 7-cost Sanji or something like that. Okay, that was the first game. Let's go and move on to the next one. So that was blue-purple Sanji. Now we got a game versus purple-yellow Rosinante. Okay, the volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, so we're going first in this game. We went second in the last game, I believe. This time we're going to go first, and we're going to start off with a turn 1 Perona. Turn 2, we don't have anything. We're going to swing for 5, swing for 5. This is going to cost 1 card from hand and one card from life. Almost every time, guys. I'm sure there's a few exceptions, but typically speaking, when you go turn 1 Searcher into turn 2 swing 5, like 5 with the Searcher with a 3 Dawn and 5 with the leader, that almost always means 1 card from hand, 1 card from life. Pretty much every time. Or they'll give you 2 from hand or 2 from life. We'll take that as well. So we're going to 1K counter out of that 5K. I do have to respect their attacks a little bit because Rosinante can gain life. They're going to try to get, further into the game if they can, I'm sure. So I'm going to swing 8 into the 5 there. They just lost 2 life very, very quickly. So pause. What just happened? Why did their Trafalgar Law survive? Because, guys, Rosinante has the ability to save one of his Trafalgar Laws on the board once per turn by taking a life card. So we were able to swing 8 into 5. He lets it go and then saves it by taking a life card. We stand up our leader with our leader's effect, and now we go 8 in the face, and now they lose another life card. They have a lot of cards in hand, but they just lost 2 life in 1 turn, on turn 3. On turn 3, they just lost 2 life, okay? Very dangerous position to be in. All right, now here we go. They're going to go ahead and play out the one-cost Rosinantes, fix their hand, and they're going to go ahead and leave early, guys. I'll say I think this is the one of the games today I knew was like kind of just a really fast game. I think they realize they're just going to lose on the crackback. I think that's kind of what's going on here. We're going to go into a 7 Dawn turn. They do have room in there, like they have the one-cost room here, but guess what we're going to do? We're just going to we were probably going to counter out of one of these attacks, either the 6K. I think it was going to be 2 6Ks. They were going to leave 1 Dawn as active for their event. But here's the thing: we're going to go 8 into their character for free with our leader, right? And that's going to cost a 2K, 1K, or the 1-cost event. That's fine. And now we're going to go 8 and then 7 into their into their leader, and then we can play out something from there. Like maybe we even play out the 5-cost Tashigi and rest down more stuff, or we have more targets to attack into. Whatever the case is, they're in a very, very tough spot. Good game to my opponent. I think they left a little bit early, but I guess they got a little bit overwhelmed there, and people are trying to learn the new decks. Okay, so bear with me on that, guys. I'm trying to get as many games in as possible to get as much content out as possible this early on with the new sim being updated, or the sim being updated with the new cards. Okay, next up we got a game versus Purple Black Luffy. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, so it looks like let's see they're going to go first. And Purple Black Luffy does prefer going first, and we prefer going second. So I think that worked out nicely for both of us. But I will say this: should we take first from Purple Black Luffy? Probably, right? Seeing the play they just did there, ramping up to 4 Dawn, we probably should take first away from Purple Black Luffy if we have the opportunity. Okay, so so they're going to ramp to 4 Dawn. Now we're on 4 Dawn. We're going to play out the Kazuki Hiyori to try to find some kind of card here to help us out for this next turn. We get a Cavendish. We're going to swing for 7, and now it's their turn. I would imagine they're going to go for this Hiyori, but if they choose not to, we won't be upset with that either. They're going to play Gum Gum Lightning here, getting rid of the Perona. We don't really care about that, but that allowed them at least, to do all that and get their Dawn back. And now they're just going to smash in for 10. Yep, you got it. We're not going to do anything about that. We're going to play out a Cavendish here. We're going to load 3 Dawn on our leader. We're going to go 8 into 5. Does he want to give me 2K here? He does. Okay, stand it up. We're going 8 at face now, and now he's down to 2 life. We're at 3. We have a 5-cost 6K. He's going to play out the new Luffy here. That new Luffy, the 6-cost 7K, is very good in Purple Black Luffy. We're going to take this one because we just have to get out of the 5K attack. He chooses not to attack in with the Zoro. It's not a big deal. We have all these cards in hand, but he should have definitely played out that Zoro, or attacked with the Zoro, because I can tap it down if I want to, or I can just ignore it now, right? I'm just not even going to care about it. I'm going to swing in for 7. Okay, just kidding. I am going to tap it down. So we're going to smash in for 8 into it. Does he want to save this card? Uses Gum Gum Giant to save the card, going down to 6 Dawn. And now we stand up our leader. We go 8 at face. They're down to 1 life. We have 2 life. We have a blocker. We have lots of cards in hand. We're in a very good position here. We're in a very good spot this game. Okay, here we go. They're going to start off with a 7K attack. We're just going to give them the Mihawk right away. Like, okay, I'm just going to get out of your 7K. Now you have to invest other stuff, to try and go to my board or whatever you want to do. They're going to go 8 into 6 here. I think we could even take this one, because are they really going to load everything on their Zoro to get me down to 1 life? We actually choose to counter out there. I think I should have taken that. I'm going to be honest, because look at that. Now they hit me with the Nico Robin. So I'm doing a little bit of math. I'm going to get rid of the Law and Beppo, and then I'm going to get rid of one of my Kashiros, because I still have 2 of those. But the thing is, I have Dead Man's Game in hand. This game is probably over. They're going to swing in for 5. I get that. We're just going to give him a 1K here. And guys, I think we're going to go ahead and hit him with the 1-cost. It's like a 4-cost Dead Man's Game. We're going to tap down their blocker, and we're just going to go for lethal, right? We're just going to go for lethal. Okay, let's go 9 into 7, see what he wants to do here. See if he wants to save it. Decides to save it. Okay, well, now we're just going to go ahead and stand the character as active, or stand our leader as active with the effect. And now we're going to use Dead Man's Game here to go ahead and tap down the Robin. And I don't know how they're supposed to get out of this now. We'll swing in for 7. It is a 7K leader. That is going to help them. But okay, that's 1 card out of hand. And now we're going to swing for, I think we can go 9, 3 9s. Yes, so swing 9. Okay, swing 9. Does he have it? And then we would have 1 more 9 even if he did have it. So good game to my opponent there. That was a close one. But hey, that new Dead Man's Game event, allowing us to rest down their blockers and get past them. And even if they had 1 Dawn active for a Gum Gum Giant, we could arrest the blocker and the Dawn to get through that. All right, good game to my opponent. Let's go to the next one. We got a game versus Green Purple Luffy. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on. Whoops, there we go. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Purple Black Luffy, Green Purple Luffy. I tried to get some decent matchups in here, guys. Green Purple Luffy is still an absolute beast in OP12, okay? So here we go. We're going to play out the Perona. We are going second. We're going to play out Perona. They played out Anami first. And here we go. They're going to swing in for 5. We're going to take that pretty aggressively. I probably should have countered out, to be honest. That was a little bit greedy taking that. But I'm also trying to find a play for next turn. Okay, I never get a play, so I think what we're going to do here, watch this, guys. Watch this. You want to talk about aggressive? I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to rest down their blocker now, and I'm going to swing 2 into 2 and see if they want to save that. They say nope, and they dawn -1 to do a search. Fine. Swinging for 7, you're down to 3, and now they can't play out their 5-cost Sanji and Pudding on this turn. That's fine with me. That's fine. We slowed them down. That's all we needed to do, and they attacked into our... they didn't even swing in with their Nami here. They want to use that for later. We're going to go 9 into 6. Does he want to give me 2K here? Nope. Stand it up, swinging in for 9. Guys, that Tashigi is nice, guys. That Tashigi is really nice. So they're at like 10 cards in hand right now. They're going to play out the Sanji and Pudding, getting their Dawn back with leader effects, playing out the Nami, fixing their hand, playing out Going Merry, cycling through their deck, and now they're going to be able to protect that Sanji and Pudding a little bit better. Okay, they're doing some searching. Again, just tons and tons of hand fixing. They're going to come in for 6 here. I think we should give them a 2K. I almost said nope, we're not going to. I don't know if you guys saw my mouse, but no. Giving him the 2K was the right call there. There's no reason to take that kind of hit there. We're on an 8 Dawn turn. I think I should develop the Dracula Mihawk, but I think I'm going to try that next turn and go from there. Okay, we're going to swing in for 6 into 6. We're going to swing 8 into 6. He probably should 2K 1K, guys. He has so many cards in hand. There's no reason to hold on to all these cards. He gives me double 2K. That worked out nicely for us. We're going to play out the Perona and fix our hand a little bit. We can grab any slash type character here. We go with the Kuina, and we play out the Kushiro, which is going to protect our board a little bit, and it's a blocker. They play out Luffy Taro into another Sanji and Pudding. We are in a terrible position now. Things were looking pretty good for a minute there, but now things are looking pretty rough. We have a lot, like we're going to have, how are we going to get back into this game, right? That's what you have to start asking yourself. How are we about to deal with this board? They've got 2 7Ks and 8K. They're a 6,000 power leader. They get 4 extra Dawn every turn. What do? They're going to go 8 into 7. Well, that's a 2K counter every time. They pass. They're not swinging out with their Sanji and Pudding because they know what I'm going to do. Okay, hang on real quick. Let me pause. They don't swing with their Sanji and Pudding because they know what I'm going to do into the Sanji and Pudding if they turn one sideways. We play out the Dracula Mihawk. We get 6 Dawn back as active. Now watch this, guys. We still have our attack with Cavendish. So we get to get a free 8K attack in pretty much for free, like I said, because we get the 2 Dawn back when we attack with it. We're going to swing in for 8. We're eating their hand up. They're down to 4 cards, 4 Dawn. They get rid of the 6-cost 7K Luffy. And right here, I think we're going to just smash into face for 8. And then we have 2 Dawn left. We're going to leave 2 Dawn as active, kind of like pretending like we have 2 events in hand, right? So we're trying to bluff like, hey, you can't get through, like we have 2 Dawn. Now, they're probably just going to go for the board anyway. They're going to play out another Sanji and Pudding, drawing cards, now they get 5 extra Dawn every turn. 2 with the leader effect, 3 with Sanji and Pudding. They're going to hit us with Electrical Luna. Our entire board sideways. We're going to block out of 7 every time. By all means, swing 8 into 8. Okay, 9 into 6. We'll go ahead and give them a blocker, and now we can get out of the other one no matter what with our 2K if we need to, or we could just let it go. We actually defend it. 7. Okay, but now we have characters that are sideways, right? Now we can actually attack into this board. They're going to buff one of their Sanjis. That doesn't really matter to me. We could also, we're going to play out the Cavendish. I'll say we have a few options here. Let's go probably 9 into 7 first, see what he wants to do. Does he want to use a Gum Gum Giant? Does he want to use a 2K, 1K? Does he want to let it go? He uses Gum Gum Giant. Goes down to 5 Dawn. Okay, we're going to stand it up. We're going to go 9 into 6. He's going to be down to 1 life. Guys, he's down to 1 life, and we can't really lose on the crackback. Now, that was unfortunate, tapping down our Dracula Mihawk. We're going to pass the turn. We were not going to attack with that character this turn. We were just going to leave that active so we couldn't lose on like a 6-cost Luffy all-in type of play. But now, we're in trouble, guys. We're in a little bit of trouble. Here we go. They play out a Zoro for the turn because playing out the Zoro actually gives them an extra Dawn, right? Instead of paying 4 for Zoro, they play out the Zoro for free and gain an extra Dawn. That's just crazy, right? So they're going to swing 7 into 7. We're going to let that go because we have to. I really want to defend that card. Okay, then he swings 12 into it. Not looking good. It is not looking good, guys. They're going to swing all in. We're taking everything because we're all in here. They only have 2 Dawn as active. Yep, it's not going to help. We use Dead Man's Game because we already have another one in hand. He probably sees the writing on the wall now. It's like, yep, guess what? I got another one. Okay, so here's the beauty of that play right there. with Cavendish on the board, we're going to get 2 of that Dawn back. We played out the 1 cost event plus 3 Dawn to rest down 2 Dawn, and now we're going to be able to get 2 of that Dawn back with our Cavendish. Here we go. We're going to swing for, whoops, that was supposed to be an attack for 10, guys. That was a misplay, but luckily we got out of it. Actually, I guess it didn't matter, did it? So we had to go swing 9, swing 10. They did not have enough to get out of it. Good game to my opponent. That was a close one. That was a close one at the end. They're having to only swing for 9 because if they get out of that one, we're done for. They were sitting on 1 Dawn as active for Gum Gum Giant, and that was their only out. That was their only chance out of this game. We had the Dead Man's game. Got it out of the way. Good game to my opponent. Good game. That was a fun one. All right, now we got one more game. We got a game versus Blue Kuzan, okay? Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Kuzan, man, this is another deck I can't wait to try out. Can't wait to get some games in with because this leader seems very, very strong. Whoops. Did I hit play? There we go. I think I actually paused it. That's funny. It was already playing. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start off. We're going first. We're going to go turn 1 Perona. They have no turn 1. That's always nice to see. We'll take it. We're going to swing for 6. Are they going to respect our early attacks? I think they should counter out of this if they have a 2K counter. They do, and I think that was the right play. I do think that was the correct play there, because if you don't do that, because remember, later on in the game, I'm going to be swinging for nothing but 8Ks, right? They play out a Borsalino, no problem. We're going to slam down Tashigi, tapping it down, giving 3 Dawn to our leader, attacking 8 into 6, and then we're going to swing 8 into the leader. Really, really nice tempo play for us there with that Tashigi. They're going to swing for 5. We're actually just going to give a 2K counter. It's still a 1-card answer. We're both at 4 life now. I have the board presence. They do not. They're going to go ahead and play out a Kuzan, trashing a card from their hand, cycling out a card, and now we can't attack with our Tashigi. We're going to play out another Tashigi, and we're going to go 10 into 8. Does he want to give me a 2K, 1K? He does not, and now we're swinging 10 into the leader. That's what this deck has to do. However, Kuzan's not out of it yet. Yep, that's why. They have this card called Gravity Blade, and it's searchable in their deck because they're a Navy deck that has Navy searchers. We play out the Dracula Mihawk. We're just going to swing for 5 to get a card out of hand. We don't have to stand our leader up anyway because there's no characters to attack into. So we're going to play out the Hiyori. We're going to fix our hand. We're going to play out a Tashigi to protect our board. And now we're cooking, guys. Now we're in a spot. Okay, they're going to swing 5 into 0. Okay, block. They're going to play out Monkey D. Garp. They're going to play out the Kuzan, trashing a card, cycling, fixing their hand a little bit, and locking down my Mihawk. Now, they're not locking it down as in, pause. They're not locking it down as in like it won't stand up, like how green usually does by locking down a character for the turn, but I can't attack from that Kuzan. Now, we have a Lon Beppo in our hand. But remember, the wording on Lon Beppo says you can rest down one of your opponent's characters, and then if your opponent has 2 or more characters for the turn, you'll go to 7,000 power. So in this situation right here, Lon Beppo is not great, but at the same time, neither would Doflamingo, the 10-cost Doflamingo, and the 9-cost Shanks. Those wouldn't matter here either, right? Because they have 2 active characters. So don't worry, guys. Lon Beppo, I think it does come up during this game, but we do need to keep that in our mind for which one we think is best all around. Okay, here we go. So we use the Hiyori to fix our hand. We're going to swing in for 5. We're trying to do a little bit of chip damage here. Just poke them down, keep messing up their hand. We're going to replace that Perona with a Cavendish, getting some Dawn back. We're going to smash in for 8. We cannot attack with our Dracula Mihawk. Do they have a trigger? It was the Pheasant Peck, which allows them to, I think it's draw a card and then trash a card, and that'll let them draw another card with their leader, if I remember correctly. They go 5 into 0. You can have it. They're going to go 8 into 5. We're actually just going to block and give them a 1K. They're going to go 8 in here. I think we should just take this going down to 2 life. Yep, seems good. They play out Sakazuki. They're fixing their hand. Really good stuff here, guys. That was a devastating turn for them. They just drew so many cards and fixed their hand so much. We're going to play Lon Beppo now, and we have a Cavendish on the board, guys. This is going to be an awesome turn for us. We're going to swing 6 into 5. Now that gives us 2 Dawn as active. Now I think we're going to go 8 into 5. Okay, and we're a 7,000 power leader now, okay? And they're not going to be able to stand up one of their cards. I think it's the Sakazuki. So we took out 1 attack. We have an 11K on the board. And, yeah, that was not too bad for us, right, guys? There's Lon Beppo. Pause and read if you don't know what it does. They're going to go 8 into 6. I think it's a 6K and we're a 7K. I actually am going to block and give them a 1K, and then we can actually just block this and protect it. Now what do they want to do? Now they have to invest something in order to go in to get rid of this Cavendish. They can. So they're going to use Sakazuki's effect to give a free Dawn. They're going to swing in for 9. We're just going to let it go now. We tried to protect that card to the best of our ability. It saved us a lot of life in the process, I'm sure. Or at least, well, maybe not actually with it being a 6K, but we were able to, now we have another Mihawk. you know, we were able to survive there and get most of their cards sideways. So we're going to go, let's go 10 into 8. Okay, now remember, I can no longer, when I stand my leader up with the effect, we can't attack into 7 cost and lower characters, but we can attack into 8 cost and higher characters. So we could have attacked into the Garp there, but I didn't want to get too greedy. But looking back, I think I should have. I think I should have gone 10 into 8 there, because that would have taken 2 cards from his hand. Okay, he's drawing like crazy. Look at his hand. He's back up to like 7 cards or whatever it is, 7 or 8 cards. He's going to smash in with everything here. We're going to take 1. I'm hoping for like a 1K counter. We're going to block in 2K, and then we're going to be able to block in 2K, or just 2K out of this one. And here we go. We're hanging in there. And he's going to lock down my Lon Beppo again, man. That Lon Beppo, I want to be able to attack with it, but there's just nothing I can do. It's time to go for game. Guys, we don't have any other choice. We don't have any other choice now. We're just going to go for game. We're going to swing 9. We're going to swing 9. He takes that one. We're going to swing 5. One card to get 1 card out of hand. We're going to swing for 9 into the 8K. Let's see if he wants to save this. The answer is he should definitely just let it go. I guess he didn't see what I was trying to do. I'm swinging 9 into 5. He's going to use the pheasant pack there. So he forgot to counter out for 1 more, but it didn't matter. I'm going to stand up and then swing in for 9 more. So I think he just didn't counter out properly, but we were just going to, again, we were just going to stand this up, and then he wouldn't have been able to survive from the second one. Good game to my opponent, and that's where that event right there, Luffy's the man who will become the Pirate King, comes in very, very handy. It can help you close out games when you just have to go all out for lethal because you can't survive on the crackback. Because look at that board, guys. They have 4 8,000 power characters on the board. We have 1 life. We have 2 blockers. So we could have eaten up 3 of those attacks, but what about the 4th one and the leader attack? How are we going to get around that? The answer is probably not going to happen. Okay, good game to my opponent. Good game to all my opponents. Those were some really fun ones today. All right, let's go ahead and finish out by talking about this deck one more time. Everything was working pretty well. I don't know exactly what other people are doing to build this leader, but I think it is something very similar to what you see on the board here. And it feels strong. The deck feels very strong. And I think there's a few flex spots in the deck. Honestly, Lon Beppo did come down and help us out a little bit. And remember, with it being a 10 cost 11K, they had to hit it with 2 different Kuzans to slow me down to try to win that game. So even though we didn't get to attack with it, it was just this looming threat at all times. And it buffed our leader up to 7,000 for the turn. Actually, we probably should. We probably should look at that game one more time. Let's just analyze what would have happened here on the turn that we played out the Lon Beppo. I just want to check one more time. Let's consider what would have been better on the turn we played out Lon Beppo. So right here, they swung in for 8. I just want to look real quickly here, guys. I know I haven't even moved my camera out of the way. Y'all bear with me for a second. Okay, we take that. They play out the Sakazuki, and then they play out the Sengoku. Okay. Now, let's actually consider here what would have been better. Okay, I just slammed down the Lon Beppo, right? I think Doflamingo would have been better here. I'm not going to lie. Shanks would not have been bad either because you just KO like the Kuzan. You'd actually get rid of the Kuzan. It'd be nicer to keep the 8-cost Garp on the board because we can attack into that twice with our leader if we need to because he's an 8-cost or higher character. But in this situation here, guys, I actually think that Doflamingo would have been slightly better because we locked down 3 attacks next turn. We get to smash in. We'd only have to worry about this one Sakazuki. And remember what they played out afterwards? Once we played out the Lon Beppo, watch what happens. They end up playing out a 6-cost Kuzan, and we couldn't even protect our Cavendish in the end. Okay, they play out the Kuzan and go from there. Actually, yeah, no, we couldn't even protect the Cavendish. So they would not have had 3 different attacks. They would have only had a single attack with the Sakazuki, and then they have to play out the Cavendish for the turn. So I do think, more than likely, I do think that Doflamingo would have been slightly better there. Shanks would have been very good as well, just removing a threat from the board, and then we still have a 9-cost 11K. We'd have 1 extra Dawn to work with, and we had a Cavendish, so we could have swung for 8 twice potentially. There's definitely some logic there. I'm not going to lie. As much as I like this card, I do think it's really cool from ST24. I don't know if this is like the best option in the deck. Now, one thing I will say, or one thing I should mention, is yet Lon Beppo is searchable by all of these targets here, whereas Doflamingo is not. But, I don't know. You're going to have to pick and choose your battles on that one. I think there's plenty of other slash targets to search up in this deck. And I don't know if Lon Beppo is going to make the final cut for me when I, try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Optimize the build. But everything else was doing very well. I did like this card in the deck as a 2-of. I think it came up just enough. And, I was able to see it enough because, remember, you can search it up with either of these two searchers. And you don't want a bunch of them just sitting in your hand because, I personally would rather just have answers like this 2-cost event, or this 1-cost event here. It's kind of like a 2-cost event to rest a 5 or less. Or this this is like a pseudo 4-cost event here to rest down 2 characters or Dawn. Other than that, the Smoker seemed okay. This is probably flexible. Like the Lawn Beppo could probably just be something like Doflamingo, and this Smoker, it is a good card, especially if a yellow starts popping up more in the meta, we can run more Smokers, right? We can adjust our counts here and go up to more Smokers. But other than that, other than against yellow, I wonder if Hody Jones isn't just a better card to include here. I understand that Hody Jones is not searchable. Hody Jones, I believe, is a strike character. Let me see something. Yeah, Hody Jones is a strike attribute character, so we can't search it up. We would lose a searchable target by getting rid of the Smoker, but, it is what it is. It's one of those situations where, okay, while we can't search up Hody Jones, we can search up the event now that kind of replaces Hody Jones, quote-unquote, in a way. And that's about it, guys. Other than that, the list is pretty straightforward. Tell me if you guys are running anything a little bit spicier that could really help out. I have seen people talk about running... Let me just type in slash into here. It should bring up all the slash characters. I have seen people running the 4-cost blocker Pedro, I believe it is. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Arlong's kind of a decent idea as well, making where their leader can't attack for the turn. That's pretty decent, but you have to trash a card for that effect. Ryuma could be kind of decent, KOing 4-cost or lower characters that are rested, even though I don't think we really need that in this deck because of our leader's effect. But there was a card, it was a 4-cost Pedro. Let me see if I'm just going to type in Pedro, guys. Okay, Pedro. So there is like this 4-cost Pedro card that I think was kind of good. I do like this quite a bit. It's a 4-cost 5k, 1k counter blocker with slash, so it's searchable. And then on KO, you can rest up to one of your opponent's Dawn, which can throw off their entire turn, or you can KO up to one of your opponent's rested 6-cost or lower characters. So that seems really good to me. And with it being a 4-Dawn turn, something we should really consider moving forward, guys, is what 4-Dawn and like 3-Dawn cards can we combo with Dracula Mihawk? Where it's like, okay, like say we're on an 8-Dawn turn or a 10-Dawn turn, like what can we do to play out with Dracula Mihawk? Like, so play out Dracula Mihawk, we get 4-Dawn back, so we have 6-Dawn for the turn. What's like a really good like 4, 5, or 6-Dawn play that we can play out after that? Like maybe even like, a 4-Dawn blocker and then sit on like a Dawn for this, attack with our leader, whatever. We have to really consider that. But really, let me say it like this. When I say like, it's really for the 10-Dawn play, right? Like, so say we play out Dracula Mihawk on 10-Dawn, we go, it costs us 8, but then we get 4 back, so we have 6 Dawn. Well, we want to put 3 Dawn on our leader, right? So we're really only left with like 3 Dawn left if we do that play, but then we don't have to add 3 Dawn to our leader. We could do other things as well, and that's where like a nice 4 Dawn play would come up, where we have 1 extra Dawn to play with for the turn and 1 extra Dawn to sit on a 1-cost event. Just something for us to consider going forward, and if you have a Cavendish, you can do even more, obviously. So something to really consider. But that's about it, guys. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say in the comments section below. I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask, why not run Zoro in there? You can. You can do that if you want to. The 9-cost Shanks, this is a slash character, so it's searchable. So, there are some really good options. Let me see if there's any other good 8-cost options just I haven't thought of off the top of my head. Yeah, I probably would stay away from these. For 7 Dawn, like I said, I think Hody Jones is the way to go. Bonnie is a supernova, but it doesn't really matter because, remember, we're searching up slash attribute characters and events. And then let me look up 10 Dawn characters. Of course, we have the Law and Beppo, and then Doflamingo. Yeah, so honestly, let me just say this, guys, to kind of wrap this up, to kind of summarize. I think Law and Beppo's cool, but I would rather run Doflamingo here. And for the Smoker, I don't know if we necessarily need this. I think I'd rather have, like, the Hody Jones here. So the first 2 adjustments I would make would be, let me type in Hody Jones to go to green. I would probably go +2 Hody Jones, and then I would go +2 Doflamingo. This is where my head's at right now with the deck. But again, tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. I love hearing your guys' ideas and see what you guys have been cooking up. All right, that's it. That's pretty much it. Should I mention anything else? I do think Green Zoro is going to be doing very well in OP12. It's already kind of showing signs of success over in the East. And yeah, if this is a leader you're excited for, you've been waiting for, it makes sense because I think it's going to be a very strong leader. That leader effect, very powerful. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me get the outro on here real quick. Guys, if you are supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're helping me out with donations through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, a part of the Discord community, whatever you're doing to help me out, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. This community's been so amazing, and the game just keeps getting better and better. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.